What is up, everyone? Your boy Inky in the house. We're going to watch this Elon Musk interview from Fox Business that came out today. Super interesting shit. The Ukraine apparently did that Cyber X hack where they took down X. This is like next level shit. Elon, in my books, is a god. Let's go watch this. He's not a god, but you know, he's a fucking legend. Watch this interview. Goes for 17 minutes.
Who, of course, is famed Trump advisor, CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, chair of X Corp. Elon, thank you for doing this. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
I've noticed with these interviews that they do in America now, Trump's has to have like most amazing interior decorators. He's in building. Of course, he's going to have the most amazing interior decorators. You can see like the interviews that are being shot now are like presented. They're grandiose. It's actually like it looks Roman.
I want to begin, but among other things, everyone's attacking you for your position. What are you doing in the government?
I'm sorry, everyone's attacking him. Yeah, look at the scene. Look at it. It's beautiful. Look at the shading. There are shadows on the wall of like branches, whatever the hell that is. You know what I mean?
Was a cyber attack on X today, which shut it down and may have been foreign sourced.
Yes.
It's a big story. You want to give us a moment on that?
We're not sure exactly what happened, but there was a massive cyber attack to try to bring down the X system with IP addresses originating in the Ukraine area.
So that's your suspicion. Is it?
All right, we got it. Obviously, right? You can reroute IP addresses. It doesn't mean that Ukraine can reroute an IP address. It doesn't mean it. Just because it came from the, doesn't mean it was from the Ukraine. However, Elon would probably be able to sort of reroute that somehow with his alien brain technology.
Is the website, is the internet up? Is it up yet? It's up yet. Okay. But I just.
Did he just say, is the internet up?
So that's your suspicion. Is the website, is the internet up? Is it up yet?
Is the internet up? Is the website? You should have stuck with the website.
It's up yet. Okay. But I just was looking back.
I'm
See
sorry.
if I get this right. They're setting fire to various Tesla charging stations near Boston. Shots were fired at a Tesla dealership.
It's ridiculous, like the psyop that is against Elon. I've been thinking quite a lot about this, and it's like, man, the dude was already doing so much before he got into the Trump circle. Now he's doing even more, and all his businesses are being affected by these idiots that, I don't know, why would you do that? Because he's a symbol? What's he a symbol of, guys? They're not doing anything bad.
Oregon, various nonviolent.
Shots fired, not a metaphor.
Shots fired, yes.
Dude didn't get the meme. I wouldn't have caught that.
New York, marching in Tesla's showroom. Stock is way down. You've been criticized left and right.
But look on the bright side.
I mean, we're doing this.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Man, what an absolute dude. How can you not love him? Tell me, how can you not love him? How? You got to be really bitter inside if you don't like Elon.
Yes. I'm an optimist.
But besides that,
Yes. I mean, what motivates you to do this?
was the offer good?
It's tough sledding.
Yeah, it is tough sledding. But I think we're doing the right thing here. There's been a tremendous amount of waste and fraud in the government. When you're part of the government, you saw a lot of that, and there's been, if you look at the Inspector General reports and the Government Accountability Office, there have been many audits that have pointed out that there's a tremendous amount of waste and fraud in the government. In fact, there was a report issued by the GAO, the Government Accountability Office, last year. So during the Biden administration, which estimated the federal government fraud to be $500 billion. So just to be clear, that's not a Trump administration thing, that's a Biden administration thing.
$500 billion? When I talk to people about this thing that's going on, all the fraud, it feels like, the kids have been running the school. That's what it feels like to me. And now Trump is in power.
So
yeah, Matty.
what we're trying to do is get number down to a much smaller figure, save for the American taxpayer, stop being spent on things that are, I think, very few taxpayers would agree make sense. Transgender animal surgeries, or why are we spending money?
What? Transgender animal surgery? No, I'm gonna look that up.
American tax dollars being spent on this.
What?
I've gone through a long list
Yeah,
of
that's
of
enough.
absurd things. Why are the 20 million people who are definitely dead marked as alive in the Social Security database? Why were
This is gonna take a long time. We're 3 minutes into the video.
dead marked as alive? Why are the 20 million people
20 million paid dead people.
who are
What?
definitely dead marked as alive in the Social Security database? Why were hundreds of small business administration loans were given out to people aged 11 and under, according to
What is that? I saw a clip of this. 11 and under. That can't be right.
the Social Security? I mean, like, these must be enterprising 8-year-olds, you know?
And some pretty 50-year-olds.
Yes, exactly. As the president said, we have people marked as alive who are 160. You know, the country was that healthy.
Yes. Yes.
You know.
How do you do it? Okay. How big is your?
Yeah.
Where'd you recruit them from? And what is it that makes you choose, the Treasury or USAID? How does it work? Let the public.
How American is that dude? The interviewer. Not sure who that is. Who is it? It'd be nice if they mention who the guy is. Elon Musk interview by blah blah. No, that's not gonna.
Public, no, please.
Dude,
Well, we just basically
old school
follow the
American.
money. We look at the borders, and we also just money. So we started looking closely at USAID because they were completely violating the executive orders to suspend foreign aid. What's called foreign aid, but what we saw there, just a tremendous amount of money being sent to non-governmental organizations. Actually, this, by the way, I think one of the biggest sources of fraud in the world is government-funded non-governmental organizations. This is a gigantic fraud loophole.
NGOs.
The government can give money
It's a
to
keyword these days.
an NGO, and then that there are no controls over that NGO. So they've given billions of dollars, in fact, we estimate tens of billions of dollars to NGOs that are essentially scams. And
By the way, I
put a stop to that. So
I do want. Secretary of State Rubio just I think he tweeted today. He has accepted over 80% of your recommendations to shut down in USAID.
Right.
So
Wow.
your review and analysis was spot on.
80%. 80% of what he predicted, he found, has been approved to be shut down. I'm assuming there'll be more, but obviously the 80% in such short time would be just a cap on the obvious ones that don't deep investigating, deep penetration.
So I wouldn't say what Doge is doing. We say, well, which part specifically? Because we put all of the actions of the Doge team, Doge.gov website, and on the Doge handle. So we post the receipts. So it's this action has been taken. When we get criticism, which line do you disagree with? Which cost saving do you disagree with? And then people usually can't think of any.
No.
So
It's transparent. It's quite remarkable.
right, and so, and then with the Treasury, for example, the two main suggested, which have not been, was that any payments going out of the Treasury, especially the Treasury's main payment, which is called PAM, things like payments or something like that, but it's almost $5 trillion a year, so $1 billion an hour.
What? $1 billion an hour? How many hours in a year? Wait a minute. I have a calculator, but I want you guys to see. So what are we talking about here again?
It's almost $5 trillion a year, so about $1 billion.
What is 5 trillion? 5 trillion in numbers. Here we go. There it is. All right. So we got calculator. 5 trillion divided by 8. What is that number again? 8760. How many hours in a year? Some crazy shit here. Oh man. Calculator. Paste it in, please. I can't be copying. I can't be typing that in. Oh, you suck. I have to do this way. I'm sorry, you won't see. What the fuck is this? 570 million an hour. $570 million an hour. He said, how much did Elon?
Billion an hour. It's like almost 5 trillion a year, so about $1 billion an hour.
An hour. All right, it's half of that. Okay.
Payments be
Wait. There might be missing though. I understand. It might be like business hours. You know, it might be Sundays and Saturdays might not be counted.
Congressional appropriation.
It's a fucking lot of money.
Explanation for the payment. Very basic stuff. And just doing that, we estimate will save $100 billion a year.
Not really. Let me see if I get this right. Particularly with Social Security. You're not.
Just move on. We're gonna save $100 billion a year. I'm not fanboying here or anything. It's just, you know, I'm not a big fan of Fox either.
Really policy.
No.
You're auditing the fiscal.
They're just like these massive facts are not being acknowledged. Is the word I was looking for? Acknowledged in the right way.
Mechanisms to make sure that, you know, from point A gets to point B, and that's where it's supposed to. In some cases, it doesn't get there, or in some cases, it may go over there. But that's it's not a policy exercise. You're not changing laws. You're just doing what any business would do in a profit and loss audit.
I think what we're adding here is caring competence. There's a massive amount of fraud of basic.
Try and keep this together, right? But what I want to say is, what I like about Elon, he's a good role model, right? Right. We can all agree on that, surely, right? There's not many good role models nowadays. He's just, everything's well thought out. That's what he does.
People's social security numbers for social security benefits, unemployment, small business administration loans, and where those are they're stolen number, and we're trying to put a stop to that, and that's the number which is estimated to be on the order of 10% federal expenditures, which is, you know, half a $1 trillion.
It's a huge number.
Yeah.
You're working with the cabinet secretary. Saw Howard Lutnick was on TV yesterday saying you were partnering with them. Is that fair?
Yeah. What we do is in consultation with the cabinet secretaries at departments. So. We're really trying to be sort of, us as tech, you know, we're really helping the department get a handle on what happens here. This sort of vast federal bureaucracy, and then you've got a very thin layer on top of the politically appointed officials. And what tends to happen is bureaucracy, frankly, is in control.
This is like someone's gonna try and take him out, right? I really don't want that happening. He's deep. Elon's deep. Fuck. You can't just be going on TV talking this and getting away with it. Many have tried in the past. It hasn't worked. The brave few.
And they largely ignore the politically appointed people.
Why should the?
I'm sure you must have seen that.
I've lived with this twice. I was Reagan many years ago, and I worked for Trump in first term.
Yeah.
It's like a permanent bureaucracy. I might add, it's a permanently liberal bureaucracy.
Yes, much.
And it doesn't. It's not a bureaucracy that necessarily enforces or implements presidential policy.
In fact, they try their best to thwart presidential policy. So the president is the elected representative of the people. And if the cannot get things implemented as a reflection of the will of the people, then what we have is not a democracy, we have a bureaucracy.
Dude, simple, right? It's so simple, dude.
Rule of the bureau, not rule of the people. And that's what we're trying to defeat here is the bureaucracy and have the people. You know, and as you mentioned, the bureaucracy was 92.5%, I believe, voted for Kamala. So this is overwhelmingly a deep blue situation.
How do you pick your next targeted agency or department?
Well,
with these old school Larry King interviewers, whoever the guy is, ashamed. I'm sure I've seen him before, but not enough to know his name. Their questions aren't like succinct. Then it's not a flowing thing. It's from thing to another. Kind of like a chess game, isn't it? It's definitely way different than a podcast.
We're trying to act broadly across all departments, so it's not just one department at a time.
Are you in all of them now? All of them?
Much.
Yes. Oh.
We're trying to make the government efficient across the board. So
How's your team?
we're a little over 100 at this point. We'll get to 200.
100.
You get to 200.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're more or less.
Basically, it's information.
Should I
software
apply?
people, and basically, yeah, finance and I mean, frankly, I can't believe I'm here doing this. It's kind of bizarre, but I kind of think that we've got this enormous federal deficit, and it's a $2 trillion deficit. It keeps growing. Our interest payments are higher than budget. That's I think was the wake-up call for me, was seeing that the interest payments to national debt exceeded the Defense Department budget, and that was only growing over time, which meant if we didn't do something about this, then there won't be any money for anything. We'll just be servicing debt.
You know how to read a balance sheet. You've had some business experience.
Yeah.
You know about this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, really, I just don't want America to go bankrupt.
So it's a call to action.
There you go.
You're hearing a call to action.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
You're
go.
giving up your other stuff? I mean, how are you running your other businesses?
With great difficulty.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
But there's no turning back, you're saying.
I'm just here trying to make government more efficient.
Far out, man. So straight down the line.
Some fraud, and we're making good progress actually. Savings at this point, $4 billion a day. So it's very significant.
You think
The day. Savings from.
you'll wind up getting to $1 trillion of
Yeah.
savings?
I mean,
Wow.
unless we're stopped, we will get to $1 trillion.
And that's, I mean, we've been talking, we had Russell Vogt, the OMB director, on earlier, through very rescission authority. But I believe you said
What
earlier.
is that?
It's an audit, will not gather dust on shelves. This is actually going to wind up with real savings, bend the spending baseline down.
Whoa.
Yeah.
There you go.
There have been many good audits, like I said, done by inspector generals and accountability office, and they just haven't been implemented. Nothing's been done.
Huh.
The GAO identified that there were 17 million dead people, and it's now 20 million, but nobody did anything about it.
Whoa.
And
I mean, I think we can sort of look at this as a complaint minimization optimization. So basically, if the government sends money out to, whether it's wasteful or fraudulent, nobody complains if they receive money, but they do complain if they don't receive money. And the people that complain the loudest are the ones receiving the fraudulent money.
and you're on it.
Yeah. I mean, so the goal here is.
Elon should say, look, I'm just failing to do the job. It's not like it's all on me. You know, it's anyone could do this job, and people should fucking chill out. Just chill out. If anything would, there'll be some other dude in there doing it, right? Needs to be explained to the plebs.
Let's not have America go bankrupt with waste and fraud. So that's what I'm here for, and making good progress.
Yes,
so,
you're going to another year?
Yeah, I think so.
A report middle of next year?
Well, getting things done as opposed to writing a report. Like say, reports don't mean anything. You just got to actually take action.
Yes.
So,
Wow.
I mean, the waste report in entitlement spending, you know, which is which is most of the federal spending is entitlements. So that's like the big one to eliminate, because that's the sort of $500 billion, maybe $700 billion a year.
Wow.
That is also a mechanism by which the Democrats attract and retain illegal immigrants by essentially paying them. to come here, and then turning them into voters.
Yes.
So this is why the Democrats are so upset about the situation, because they're losing. If we turn off this gigantic money magnet for illegal immigrants, then they will
Aliens.
and they will lose voters.
Just say it.
President's support. He said again yesterday. He completely supports your operation.
Yeah. Well, thanks. But that's super. Without the president's support, we couldn't make any progress here.
It kind of makes him sound like he's an outside entity of government, right? Am I wrong? It just makes it seem like, without the president's help, we couldn't have done it. But the president, took Elon on to do technically. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, where you'll see the biggest outcry from the Democrats who are they want turned off because it is a gigantic magnet to attract illegal immigrants and them stay in the country. And I mean, you see some of the crazy stuff, like where money from FEMA, which is meant to take care of Americans, and a bunch of money was being sent to pay for luxury hotels in New York for illegal immigrants. And that was happening even after the president was elected, and even after he signed an executive order saying that needs to stop.
Wow.
So we actually made sure that money did stop going, because it's obviously outrageous that American taxpayer money is spent on luxury hotels for illegals. But you have to say, why was that being done? It was because the Democrats are trying to import voters, basically.
Yeah. That's fucked. I think that's what happened in Germany.
Yeah, and that's also why there's no voter ID needed. In fact, in California and New York State, you're not allowed to show voter ID. That's doesn't that seem insane?
Insane.
Yeah.
I say that as a New Yorker. It's insane.
Yeah, insane.
And it violates the entire Constitution and the principles behind it.
Yes.
Wow.
Producers are yelling at me to get out. I don't want to end this interview because it's too much fun.
Yeah.
Can I just ask you one thing? 20 seconds. Nothing to do with Doge. Can you rescue the astronauts? Rescue the astronauts.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we're bringing them back in a few weeks.
There's not near enough attention being paid to this. You're going to get them back.
We're going to get them back.
God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you for
God bless
all
you.
your service, Elon Musk. We appreciate it very much. Appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah. He's awesome.